Hi guys, today I'm going to go over how to draw an orc, and there's a bunch of different versions in different games and different movies, so I'm just going to make one up. It's going to be an orc head, actually, orc face or head. I'm going to do this one 3/4. Thing is, I'm going to do a lot of the next few tutorials, if it's just the head of anything, I always make it 3/4, meaning they're slightly turning to the left or right, because just straight on is, unless you're doing turnarounds, straight on is very, very boring, and I just don't like it. I think it's extremely boring. I don't think there's any use to doing it. It just looks much better if they're looking off to the right or left, in 3/4. So on this one, always do center line on every head I do, just to make sure we're the center, like, keep everything aligned. Center of the nose, center of the... Okay, so I am going to do one version of the orc with... kind of going to make it up as I go along, actually. I like the kind of bulldog teeth. And I'm just, right now, I'm doing very light with my pen, by the way. I'm using a pen. And I'm going to... I'm just lightly placing the eyes. I'm not following any specific proportion here, only because the rules are a little different with an orc. I am just thinking of any design, and the things I'm thinking of right now are things of, because I've played a lot of video games, watched a ton of movies. I'm just thinking like in a mixed up, maybe generic version of all those together to kind of get a broad idea. And let me see, a little angrier. Remember, these are all very light. Even though this is pen, I'm going to go down darker with darker lines, and you won't even see the lighter lines. They won't come out, which is kind of weird, but it does happen like that. Let's see, there's too many teeth. Now make a space there. Alright, that's kind of a vague orc. Orcs usually have like pointed ears. I almost forgot the ear. They usually got like earrings and those things. I gotta just make them completely bald for now. Yeah. Alright. What I'm looking at right now is very vague, but it gives me general proportions, and it's light enough, even with my pen, it's light enough that once I go over it, if this is just a sketch, and I'm going to go with darker lines to replace that. So I'm going to time-lapse this, and I will maybe pause the time-lapse. I'll put it back to regular motion so I can just finish what I'm saying and describe what I'm doing. So, alright, I'm going to start the time-lapse. Alright, one second. I want to go over what I'm doing with the eyes a little bit. In this one, I kind of chose to make the eyes disappear into shadow. That always happens when the light source is coming from above, shooting down below, shooting toward, like, from the top, shooting down, is the eyes will kind of go into shadow if it's a really strong light source. So I'm going to do that. It gives it a cool look when the eye sockets, you kind of see the holes of the eye sockets. It's kind of a good shortcut. You don't have to draw the eyes, but I mean, I like drawing eyes, but I think this gives it a pretty cool look as well when it's done. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to time-lapse again, and I'm going to go into the other features. Right now I'm basically just making his lower jaw bigger, way bigger than normal, just to fit all these funky teeth I'm putting in there. I'm not totally happy with certain things about it, but it's good enough and it's passable, and I think it'll be fine. His mouth is a little bit open there, which is on purpose. So I gotta differentiate that from maybe the upper lip, the lower part of the upper lip. I'll probably differentiate the value. Value meaning, you know, how dark or light a certain area is. So I'm going to time lapse again, and I'll see what I can do. Alright, I'm almost done with the sketch here. Basically, I've put, this is a one large cast shadow, basically, because the light's come from the top. The chin itself, the jawline and everything, that's going to cast a shadow of its own onto kind of the neck area. And there's a lot of places you can go from here, pretty much. You can, you know, go into the neck a lot, take out little areas of that and experiment with that. There's also, you know, add some chains, add more piercings of different kinds. You know, I don't know what kind of piercings they have. I don't believe they have. A lot of them are mostly around the ear, really. It's nothing else. No labres. Let me add a labre, actually. A giant one, like a kind of an African one. It's really just that, and then yeah, this is still just at a sketch level, and I can do whatever I want with it. I could take it to a finish. I could take it to like a major finish if I want. You could actually scan this into the computer, color it digitally. You can do all kinds of things to it. So that is vaguely how to draw an orc, at least one version of an orc. Please subscribe to my channel. I'd really like to do a lot more of these, and the more you subscribe and the more you tell people about it, you know, the more I can do them, and I really enjoy them. Thanks a lot, guys.